Answer on this one is D. To get this answer, you square 3 to get 9. You square the square root of 6 to get 6. Subtract the 2. Answer is 3. Answer on this one should be B. Answer on this one is C. Answer on this one should be A. Pick a number from 1 to 20 and drop it off up here. The winning numbers today are 2, 4, 5, 8, and 12. Homework check. Bring it up here. Show me what you have. 10 out of 11, 91%. Homework answers. Here's what you should have. 1 is 6 plus 3 square root of 2 over 2. 2 is 18 plus 6 square root of 2 over 7. 3 is 44 plus 11 square root of 6 plus 4 square root of 3, and this back end here should be 3 square root of 2 instead of the square root of 18. All of that is over 10. 4 is 45 plus 5 square root of 6 plus 9 square root of 2 plus, and that shouldn't be, well actually I did change it, it's down here. Here's the right answer. Plus 2 square root of 3. Number 5 is 54 plus 6 square root of 10 over 71. 6 is 32 plus 8 square root of 2 plus 4 square root of 3 plus square root of 6 over 14. 7 is 66 plus 11 square root of 7 plus 6 square root of 3 plus square root of 21 over 29. And 8 is 80 plus square root of 8, or not square root of 8, but plus 8 square root of 3 over 97. And on 9, you should have 24 plus 2 square root of 6 over 69. 10 is 55 minus 5 square root of 10 over 111. 11 is 12 minus 4 square root of 2 minus 3 square root of 6 plus 2 square root of 3. 12 is 16 minus 8 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 10 plus square root of 30. On this one you should have square root, or not square root, but 12 minus 4 square root of 2 minus 3 square root of 6, and this should be 2 square root of 3 there on the end. And then on the bottom you have 7. And for 14 you should have 54 minus 9 square root of 10 minus 6 square root of 7 plus square root of 70 over 26. 15 is simply negative 5 over 2. You could have had negative 2.5. I would have taken that as well. To simplify radical expressions, example 1 will be just like yesterday, so we can get some more practice. We have 3 plus square root of 2 over 4 minus square root of 6. So what you have to do is multiply the top and the bottom by 4 plus square root of 6, and then do your multiplications. You use the opposite sign of what's in there. On the top, you have 3. You have to start with this 3 and multiply it by each of these items. So 3 times 4 is 12. And then 3 times square root of 6 is 3 square root of 6. Now move to the square root of 2 and multiply it by each of these items over here. Square root of 2 times 4 is 4 square root of 2. And then you're going to have square root of 2 times square root of 6. That's going to be square root of 12. On the bottom, you use the trick we learned yesterday. It's going to be 4 squared, which is 16, and then square the square root of 6 to get 6 and subtract the 2, and you'll get a 10. Alright, for this, you have to go back and check what you have. Check the square roots first. This is simplified, so is this. Square root of 12 can be broken up. So recopy what you have. It's 12 plus 3 square root of 6 plus 4 square root of 2. And that square root of 12, we've had a test over this and done it many times. It's 4 and 3. The square root of 4 is 2. So 2 square root of 3. Keep your 10 on the bottom. Now go check to see if you can reduce anything. 12, 3, 4, and 2. There's nothing you can get out of all of those, along with the 10. So your final answer is right here. Here's example 2. On the bottom, it's 2 plus square root of 5, so you have to multiply the top and the bottom by 2 minus square root of 5. On the top, when you multiply, you're doing 5 times 2 and 5 times the minus square root of 5. So you end up with 10 minus 5 square root of 5. Now you move to the square root of 3 and multiply it by 2 and that minus square root of 5 and come up with plus 2 square root of 3 minus square root of 15. On the bottom, 2 squared is 4. Square root of 5 squared is 5. 4 minus 5 is a negative 1. Check out your radical elements here. This, and this are all simplified. You can't do anything more with them. Now look at the bottom. You have a negative 1. You want to get rid of that, and to get rid of it, you have to change the sign of everything on top. Negative 10 plus 5 square root of 5 minus 2 square root of 3, and then plus square root of 15. For this problem, you have to multiply the top and the bottom by 6 plus square root of 7, and you'll come up with, on the top, 42 plus 7 square root of 7 minus 6 square root of 2 minus square root of 14. All of that is going to be over 36 minus 7, which is 29. Nothing more you can do to that. For this problem, you have to multiply the top and the bottom by 2 plus square root of 2. On the top, you will end up with 8 plus 4 square root of 2 plus 2 square root of 6 plus square root of 12. On the bottom, you'll have 4 minus 2, which is 2. Now you can simplify here. The square root of 12, that's 2 square root of 3. And before we go to the last step, we have to take a look at 8, 4, 2, and 2. They can all be divided by 2 from the bottom. So it would be 4 plus 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 6 plus square root of 3. The answer on this one is A. Answer on that one should be C. Answer on that one should be A. Example 3. In this problem, you have two different choices you have to make. One is, do you want to simplify now, or do you want to simplify later? If you simplify now, things could go possibly easier. If you don't, you may have more simplification to do later on. And the decision is caused by this. You have a square root of 8 in the denominator. So you would be multiplying by 3 plus square root of 8. Unsimplified, because that can break up as 2 square root of 2. If you don't simplify now, you could have more work to do later. So you can simplify this to 2 square root of 2 now. And then multiply the top and the bottom by 3 plus 2 square root of 2. And then go on about simplifying the problem. On the top, when you multiply 5 times 3 and 5 times 2 square root of 2, you end up with 15 plus 10 square root of 2. 5 times this 2 on the outside is where I get the 10. The square root of 2 just tags along to there. And then we go to the square root of 2 and multiply it by each of those items on the right. So square root of 2 times 3 is just 3 square root of 2. Now when you multiply the square root of 2 times 2 square root of 2, you're multiplying this by this item here. And that's a 4, or not a 4, but a 2. The sign just disappears. Square root of 2 times itself is 2. But you still have times 2, so that makes it what? 4. And then on the bottom, 3 squared is 9. And then you have 2 square root of 2 squared. 2 square root of 2 squared. Square each one in there and multiply them together. 2 squared is 4. Square root of 2 squared is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Check out your radical terms, square root of 2 and square root of 2. They cannot be simplified. In the other class, we left them the way they are, but you can actually treat those as if they were like terms and then add them together. Yeah, I was in a hurry to get over to the 10 square root of 2. We just had a question. I was in a hurry to get to this. Actually, when you have that 8, you subtract. You are right, and that is a 1 on the bottom. So the 1 would disappear. But up here, you have 10 square root of 2 and 3 square root of 2. You could make that 13 square root of 2. And then plus 4 for your final answer. The other class we left this the way it was and I counted it, but I think I do want to add these together and simplify them. So I'll let them in on that tomorrow. So this is your final answer. You could also add the 15 and the 4 to come up with 19 plus 13 square root of 2. That's also another thing I missed on that one somebody caught. Of course, in video land, all of this seems like it's happening in real time. They don't know that I pressed the pause button until now that I just told them, because I'm recording now. But yeah, whenever I miss something, I just go back and add it in. This should be the right answer there, because you can add 15 and 4 to get 19. 19 plus 13 square root of 2. Example 4. So you have 6 plus square root of 12 on the top, and on the bottom 3 plus square root of 8. Now if you leave both of those unsimplified, you're going to have a lot of stuff to do later on. So you should simplify the square root of 12 on the top to 2 square root of 3, because it breaks up as 4 and 3. And then on the bottom, 3 plus 2 square root of 2. That square root of 8 breaks up as 2 square root of 2. What you have to do to proceed is to multiply the top and the bottom by 3 minus 2 square root of 2, and then go about simplifying the problem as we did before. Okay, so on the top, what we're doing first is 6 times 3. That's an 18. And then 6 times the minus 2 square root of 2 is minus 12 square root of 2. We're done with the 6, so move to the 2 square root of 3 and multiply this by this 3. So you're really just multiplying 3 times 2 to get 6, and this thing tags along. So plus 6 square root of 3. Plus, minus. So it's going to end up minus down here. 2 square root of 3 times 2 square root of 2. This 2 times this 2 is 4. Square root of 3 times square root of 2 is square root of 6. And then on the bottom, you have 3 squared is 9. And then we did one just like this in the last problem. If you square 2 square root of 2, you have 2 squared is 4, and square root of 2 squared is 2, so 4 times 2 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. Of course the 1 disappears. Let's go back and inspect this stuff. We have a radical 2, 3, and 6. Can't simplify those anymore, and you can't combine them together. You only have a constant of 18. So the only thing you can do is just write 18 minus 12 radical 2 plus 6 radical 3 minus 4 radical 6 by itself.